Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. So it has come to be that time of the month where we talk about the books that I read. I read 5 this month, 2 physical, 2 on my Kindle, and then my Audible book. And I've kind of been like on a thriller binge lately. 4 of my 5 books this month were thrillers, and at least we got the first 5 books out of the way. So the first 5 books of the year are complete, so I'm happy with that. But without further ado, let's jump right in. So the first 2 that I'm going to talk about are on my Kindle. They're both by Frida McFadden, and they're both from Kindle Unlimited. And I have Kindle Unlimited and Audible. I pay for both the subscriptions. But honestly, I feel like the Kindle Unlimited is more worth the money because, one, it's only $9.99 a month versus $14.99 a month. And there's way more options to choose from. And there's no like max amount of books you can read every month, if you know what I mean. Like Audible, you pay $14.99 and you get 1 credit, which is essentially 1 book. And they do have some free audiobooks, but I haven't really found anything that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great, if you know what I mean. So if you're going to invest in anything, I would definitely say the Kindle Unlimited. And you don't have to have a Kindle, I believe. You can read them on your phone as well with the Kindle app. But anyway, the first book that I read was Want to Know a Secret by Frida McFadden. And I gave this book 4 stars. And the description is, everyone has secrets. YouTube baking sensation April Masterson knows the secret to perfect gooey brownies or how to make key lime squares that will melt in your mouth. But if you keep watching her offline, you may find out some other secrets about April, secrets she'd rather you didn't know. Like, where did her son go when he snuck out of the house? What was she doing with the local soccer coach behind fogged windows? And what's buried in her backyard? Everyone has secrets. Some are worse than others. April's secrets are enough to destroy her. I'll make sure of that. So, I kind of, both of the books on my Kindle I read very quickly. I think it was like a day and a half because they were pretty interesting. But it's told from 2 points of view. So like there's April, part 1 is like April's point of view, who's the main character, and it's kind of like her version of everything that happened and how she claims to be so innocent and she has no idea why people are like mean or rude to her and blah blah blah. And then the second part of the book is told from her best friend's point of view, and it's just like with that point of view you kind of get to know April a little bit better than what she's portraying as, and April's not as innocent as she claims to be. I really like that one, and I think Frida McFadden is starting to become like another favorite author of mine, which is nice because almost all her books are on Kindle Unlimited, which is great. So I can binge as many as I want to. But the second book I read by her is called The Locked Door. And this one I gave like a 4.5 star. And it says, when 11-year-old Nora Davis was up in her bedroom doing homework, she had no idea her father was killing women in the basement. Decades later, her father is spending his life behind bars, and Nora is a successful surgeon with a quiet existence. When Nora discovers that one of her female patients was murdered in the same horrific manner that her father used, she believes somebody wants her to take the fall for this crime. The police can't pin anything on her as long as they don't look in her basement. So this book, literally, I think it's like 296 pages or something like that, like just shy of 300, but it did not feel like that. The story went so fast, and I really liked the way that she kept twisting things. So every time you thought you figured it out, you didn't, and then there was another twist in the story. So I really liked the way she wrote that. At first I thought Nora was like had like DID or something. And I was like, maybe she just like, or she's doing something and she doesn't realize she's doing it. And there's kind of flashbacks from her childhood and then present day as well. But yeah, the ending I definitely did not see coming. And I was just like, oh, it's this person. Like, this is what's happening. And then everything kind of like wrapped up in the last few chapters. And I was like, oh, definitely did not see that coming. But yeah, so that was another good one by Frida McFadden as well. So my next book that I'm going to talk about is my Audible read, and it was The Fog Girl by Marcia Clark, and it is a 10-hour and 52-minute listen. And I gave this one like a 3.5 star, and it wasn't necessarily because of the storyline. The storyline was a little long, if you ask me. I'm not sure how many actual pages this is, but it came out in September of last year, and it was just a little long for me. Like, the reason why I like Frida McFadden thrillers is because, you know, they're short and like they keep your interest the entire time. I feel like when thrillers get a little too long, then it's kind of just like, okay, just get to the point already, if that makes sense. That, and I didn't like the narrators that narrated this book. I really like Julia Whelan. I've listened to a few of her audiobooks, and she's just like the best narrator in my opinion, because she's so good at doing so many different voices and like really keeping you engaged and stuff. And then these two narrators, I feel like were kind of like meh, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just feel like there could have been a little more interest. It was a little monotone for me, if that makes sense. With this one, it says, when Charlie Blair left Chicago behind, her old life as Lauren Claiborne for a gig in Santa Cruz's DA's office, things were supposed to be easier, or at least nothing that a couple of Xanax and a tumbler of vodka couldn't handle. The plan had been working until the murder of a local bail bondsman, Shelley Hansen. Enter hotshot prosecutor Erica Lorman. She has a stellar record and unfailing touch with juries, a veritable legend in her own right. Fresh off the prosecution of celebrity chef Blake Steers, the newest resident of California's penitentiary system, and perhaps its most high profile, she thrust back into action alongside her new co-chair from the Windy City and ready to do anything to put criminals behind bars. But as the fevered search for answers intensifies and the hunt for a killer continues, secrets from the past threaten to not undo just the case, but Erica and Charlie too. Expertly plotted and relentlessly paced, The Fog Girl will keep listeners guessing until the very end, which is true because I didn't actually figure out the plot of the story. I just feel like the plot of the story was a little too long. You know what I mean? I don't really know what else to say, but that's basically all I have to say on that one. And the last one I read was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. And this one is actually turned into a movie. It says soon to be a major motion picture. I think it is a movie now, though. But yeah, so I got this one a few months ago, actually, and I just haven't had the chance to read it. So I got around to reading it. And it's a super quick read, 363 pages, super easy, quick read. I almost dropped it. And it's a friends to lovers, not friends to lovers, enemies to lovers kind of trope. But honestly, you can kind of sense the sexual tension between them from like day one, but it took them forever to realize that they had sexual tension between them. But it says Lucy and Joshua hate each other, not dislike, not begrudgingly tolerate, hate. And they have no problems displaying their feelings through a series of ritualistic, passive-aggressive maneuvers as they sit across from each other, executive assistants to co-CEOs of a publishing company. Lucy can't stand Joshua's joyless, uptight, meticulous approach to his job. Joshua is clearly baffled by Lucy's overly bright colors, quirkiness, and Pollyanna attitude. Now that they're up for the same promotion, their battle of wills has come to a head, and Lucy refuses to back down when their latest game could cost her dream job. But the tension between Lucy and Joshua has also reached its boiling point, and Lucy is discovering that maybe she doesn't hate Josh, and maybe he doesn't hate her either, or maybe this is just another game. I would say 3.5 stars. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't anything spectacular, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I could kind of sense what was going to happen from the first few chapters. I'm they definitely don't actually hate each other. They just, need to go bang and then they'll get over it. But yes, that's what I would rate this one. If you want to read like a quick, spicy rom-com kind of romance. There you go. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. And then my last book was my book of the month choice. So this is What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. And I would give this book, these are live star reviews. I haven't actually pondered this too much. I would say this is a 4. Was it? Yeah, I would say it's a 4. So this one is about 3 best friends. Naomi Shaw used to believe in magic. 22 years ago, she and her 2 best friends, Cassidy and Olivia, spent the summer roaming the woods, imagining a world of ceremony and wonder, the goddess game. The game became an obsession and a refuge for the 3 girls. That sanctuary was suddenly shattered when Naomi was attacked. Miraculously, she survived her 17 stab wounds and lived to identify the man who hurt her. The girls' testimony put away a serial killer wanted for murdering 6 women. They were heroes, and they were liars. For decades, the friends have kept a secret that might be worth killing for, hidden in the forest. But now, Olivia wants to tell the whole story. Then she goes missing, and Naomi sets out to find out what really happened in the woods, no matter how dangerous the truth turns out to be. My book of the month reads lately, I feel like it starts off slow, and then like the last half of the book ends up being really good. I think that's what kept it from being a 5-star read for me, was that the beginning was kind of like, okay, let's, move on a little quicker. It was 319 pages. I also did not like how it left off. I kind of feel like it left off on a cliffhanger almost, where I feel like I could have used like one more chapter to wrap things up, if that makes sense. So like the beginning was super long. Like the first half of the book was super long, and then like the second half of the book was like boom, 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 and then you were kind of left like, oh, like I could have used a little bit more to end that book, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. I think this is her second novel. Oh, she actually writes books she writes horror and thrillers for all ages, from middle school to adult. Interesting. What Lies in the Woods is her adult thriller debut. So I guess this is her first adult-related thriller. But yeah, it wasn't too shabby. I just feel like the ending could have given me a little more. Okay. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought. If you read any of these books, I'd love to hear your opinion. And side note, my best friend gave me this idea on my December reads video that I posted at the beginning of the month, that I should try to go back and like reread books from high school to see if my opinion on them has changed. So I need to dig out some of my old reads, because I don't know about you guys, but in my high school we had to actively read, and I'm just the kind of person where I just want to read. Okay, I don't want to stop and take notes. I don't mark up any of my books. Like I just want to read it. So I definitely have to dig out some of those books to see if my opinion on them has changed now that I don't have to actively read them and I can just try to read them for enjoyment. So I haven't decided if I want to do that and have that be like a separate video altogether, or if I'll just throw some in as I read them. I'll have to figure that out as I go along. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.